maybe give us some things that you've seen in terms of working remotely, managing teams remotely, and how the pandemic's affected you. And then we talked a little bit about, some of the positive things that are coming from it too, from the disruption. So.
Sure. Yeah, happy to. So I'm in mid-level management now. I've actually been in management probably 18, I think, years. And before the pandemic really surfaced, I actually had a couple of direct reports that were remote from my location. So I had a little bit of experience with that. But of course, my company, like probably most of your companies, as soon as the pandemic hit, we scattered, we all went home. The boss said, for your own safety, go home. Let's try this new work from home thing, at least during this pandemic, and see how it goes. So suddenly I'm managing personnel all over my metropolitan area, but also I had people in other states. And it was it was a big test. It was a test for FDA. I was on the phone with a reviewer and I said, can I ask a question? Are you working from home? And she said, absolutely, I'm working from home. They told us all to go home. We're not supposed to come back into the office except under XY circumstances.
Last number I saw was that 54% of the United States is working from home.
Wow, that's amazing. That's very impressive. So it was a grand experiment for my company, I know, because my company's kind of old fashioned and was a little unsure about this whole work from home thing. It's worked really well, at least for my department. I think I can say my company. I have found employees to actually be more efficient working from home. It took a little getting used to. There was a lot of, VPN issues and all of this to work out. Make sure you can log into the server without compromising, anything. Get all the technical things. Once we ironed all that out, I think people really proved themselves. So I think it remains to be seen as COVID ultimately resolved. It remains to be seen, probably company by company, what's going to be the fallout? What's going to be the next step? Are employees going to more and more want to work remotely? If so, are our company, ready to entertain that? I don't know what the agency's thinking. Are they going to allow reviewers to work from home?
It's going to be interesting because there's studies that have been done that post, like one of them was done by CNBC, that over 75% of people, not specific to medtech, but just any industry that were surveyed, expect after the pandemic to have some aspect of autonomy, 1-2 days. And there are companies that are strategically right now targeting top talent and regulatory affairs to steal top talent by guaranteeing 100% remote with some travel post-pandemic where they don't have to go back into an office setting. So I certainly have clients, just as you described your culture, that was not really an option. I mean, certainly you could, if you got something going on, you have a sick child, whatever, you can go home, but having remote days during the week wasn't really an option. And I think that it's going to be very interesting paradigm over the next 2 years, because my personal perspective is there's going to be companies that are going to have a harder time getting top talent in a niche area if they don't become more open to autonomy.
Yeah, if they hesitate, if they're unsure, or if they simply close the door on the option, it may come back to bite them. They may start losing talent because all other things being equal, if an employee can work at company A, but they have to come into the office every day, wear a tie, they're going to be there at 8 until 5, all of this, or they can work from home, sleep in a little bit later, and yet still get the same amount of work done, be just as productive. They may go with company B and say, I like that option better.
I always say, and before starting my business, I had a home office, and then I traveled quite a bit for 12 years. But if you hire the right people, the right skill set, one of the bigger challenges you have from a home office standpoint is setting boundaries. because you can also end up working all the time. And certainly everybody is, when you get into regulatory affairs, professionalism and making sure you cross your T's and dot your I's kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah, exactly.
Hear me, won't you speak to me when I open up? And I forward my thoughts to you, but sometimes I'd say you're thinking too much, and I don't want to